What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at The Last of Us here, patch 1.0.4, which is just released recently at time of making this video. And this patch really focuses on image quality and performance from what it would appear, and it does seem to help the Steam Deck out a bit. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the patch notes real quick here. We have optimized CPU and GPU used throughout the game. That was a big one since launch day that we've been having trouble with. Also, improved texture fidelity and resolution on in-game low and medium settings, which definitely makes a big difference. We're going to take a look at that here in the video as well. And there's a bunch of other improvements if you want to go check out the notes. And Steam Deck specific, it fixed an issue with FSR 2 and some things with the AMD drivers and that type of thing specifically for their GPUs, but a nice update overall. And all we've really done here is match the settings I had on launch day. So I just used exactly what I had there with FSR quality, 800p, Windows borderless, and then low preset with nothing else tweaked or changed at that time. So I just matched all that up here, and as we get into the game, there are definitely improvements that I have seen right away when jumping into some different scenes and loading into some different areas, especially with that higher texture resolution and that type of thing that we're going to take a look at here. There's also fixes to the water and other things in the game, along with increased performance, which is nice here. So let's compare to launch day and now. So we got the new patch over here on the left and launch day on the right, and look at the sign. You can read it, the brick, how much clearer it is, the shadows, the street, and just everything overall with those higher resolution textures, even matching settings here on low, it looks so much better compared to what we had before. And as I switch over launch day to FSR off, it still just can't come close to what we have with even FSR on here for launch day there. And that's just a really nice improvement. And the FPS is certainly much higher in this area as well. And right here too, running through this same scene, everything just looks much better now with the update, and it is running a bit better in this area too. Not a lot, but a good bit. You can get your 30 FPS and above here, and it's certainly better than what we were experiencing, and frame times are a lot cleaner as well. Now in this scene on launch day, we were already GPU bound, which is a good thing. That kept our frame times very clean and a decent FPS, and things are basically the same here now. We actually had a little bit more FPS in a couple areas there on launch day, but then things kind of even out here, and it's actually a little better over on the patch. So kind of depends on where you're at, but either way, you can see we do get those much better looking textures here, even if performance didn't quite meet up there. Now in this scene, we do get an increase of FPS as well, and certainly image quality just looks better as we move around and look at the different textures here on the map. It's really impressive what they've been able to do with either matching or increasing FPS performance, but also really giving us much better looking game. And here you can see the water is such a difference. No more black goo water. We have actual real water here, and you can see even the other effects and textures around just look so much better here in the game. I mean, look at that black water we were dealing with before compared to what we have now. There are a lot of scenes that just truly do look like a better game, and again, with those better looking features here, we also have better frame times and higher FPS. So this is great to see when comparing to launch day. Now that's not to say that everything is perfect. When you get into areas of the game with a lot of combat and enemies and where the CPU gets hit again, we do lose that GPU usage still, even with those same settings, and we go under 30 FPS. That's just going to happen sometimes in this game. You're not always going to be able to maintain that higher, smoother frame rate, but I never had any major issues with not being able to play or anything like that. Jumping over to a scene like this, you see we go right back to nice frame times and a higher frame rate. So again, it really depends on where you're at. The patch doesn't just make everything perfect on deck. We are still dealing with limited hardware here with an APU and a handheld, but it performs really well here. And what Naughty Dog's done with this patch, not just for deck, but for this PC version, and how much better it seems to be running everywhere. And I have to check it on my desktop here as well, because I think it just looks a lot better. It's really impressive. It's a better game. It looks better. It performs better. And I think it's just an overall nicer experience. But anyways, guys, I hope this gave you an idea of the comparison to launch day and now, and what we're dealing with The Last of Us here on Steam Deck. Thanks a lot for coming to watch the video. As always, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.